Share my screen. Okay, so I have the dev tools open here. I detached it. So it's just literally just the dev tools. And right now I'm inside of the console tab. So if y'all want to practice JavaScript, I think this is a really good place to practice it first of everything. Like you can write all your variables in here, and you can like just play around with certain things. Just do like a console log of A, or you can just straight write A, and then you see one pop up here at the bottom. Press enter, you get one. This is a really, really good way to practice, an instant way to practice your JavaScript. So I was gonna say that first of all. I'm gonna refresh this to get rid of everything in there. And I'll start with the questions. The first question was to look up the date object. Now, the date object, just like the other objects we learned, is literally just an object. Like we learned about the console object. We write dot, we see properties and methods here. We learned about, yeah, we learned about the math object. We didn't explicitly go over in this class, but math is another object. It has properties and methods in here. So one of the objects is this date object. Date object gives us like an interface or a way to get the date, the current date. I'm sure it does other things as well, but how we're going to use it, we're getting like the current date. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable, right? Say date. I'm going to set it equal to new date. Now, the reason I'm using this new keyword is because I want to set this date variable to a new instance of the date object. Now, this new instance, what that basically means is it gets us the current date. Like as soon as I press enter, like right now it is it's February 20th. It's 11:39 right now. As soon as I press enter, it captures the current date, like the date that my computer says. And if I write date here, press enter, I can see that I have Sunday, February 20, 2022, 11:39 and 21 seconds, right? Note like the seconds here. Like if I write date again here, it still says the exact same time. And that's because it did basically what I said it was going to do. It captured the date as soon as I created the variable. And that's why we use this new keyword. We want to get the current date. That's one of the reasons why we use the new keyword. There's another reason, but we'll go through that a little bit later. It's a little bit more complex to why we're using this new keyword. But just remember, you write new, you write the date object with the capital D, and you call it with these parentheses. Now with and if anybody have any questions, please stop me and I'll answer. So
I do actually. So basically you're saying with the new that creates the date for the time right now.
Right.
But if you write date again, it still stays at 21 seconds. It doesn't come to the current moment date time. Right. I mean, it comes to the date when you created it though, right? So if you put date in again, it's still gonna go back to the 21 seconds and not to whatever it is right now.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and if I wanted to do it right now, I had to create another variable. I'm just gonna say date 2. Now date 2 says the current date time, 11:41 and 6 seconds. So yeah.
So you would have to create a new variable basically for the current date versus the old date that you created the first time, right?
Right, exactly. Okay. Exactly. Okay. That's part of it also. You see how where is it? You see how this is changed and this is updated. The reason this thing is updated is because we keep creating a new date variable and displaying it on the screen. Now that's like the idea behind it. Okay. So I'm gonna go back here, right? So let me clear some of this stuff off.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
So you said it's based off of the information of your, you know, of your computer or whatever you're working on at that moment. So if you were creating something for a company or a person that's in a different time zone, would you just change, like temporarily change the computer settings to that time zone so it'd be easier, or do you have a specific um, um, code that you'll put in, whereas though it'll just target the current like specific time or central time?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question, and I'm glad you're like thinking that far ahead. With the date object, right? When we're doing something for a company, the date that we keep is the date that the server has. So what we have right now is like the front end, right? And there's a back end to this. Like there's like another computer somewhere far somewhere else. We're gonna get the date of that computer, that server. A server is a computer, so we get the date of that, and we don't get it inside of this time zone. We get it in UTC. So you want to get it in like the time zone that everybody else can reference from. That's a standard. I forgot exactly what what it stands for, UTC, but yeah, it's like the standard time zone that everyone goes
Okay.
off. So yeah, it's a really good question. And the reason we don't use our computers is because I can literally change my time zone on my computer, and like it'll show up as whatever, and I can change the time. Whatever time my computer says is that. But yeah, that's a good question.
Thanks.
Yeah. Um, So this is the object. It's still here even though I cleared the screen, right? So because we set this to new date, that new date actually made this into an object. So if I put dot, I can see properties and methods here. Now the assignment was to get the hours, to get the minutes, and to get the seconds. We see a lot of get things here. Like all of these things get certain things. Remember I told you UTC, like you can get the UTC date here. Also, if I was to do that and call this get UTC date, it just says 20. Now, date can get like very complicated too. But yeah, for the hour, we want to use get hours. We call that, we get the current hours for this date. Remember, this date is 11/39/21. And if I want to get the minutes, I get minutes here. And I'll call this function, the minutes is 39. And if I want to get seconds, you can probably guess it, get seconds, and we call that function, and that is 21. So that's how you work with the date object. I'm about to, I'm gonna bring this up in the dev tools so I can do the second part of this. But before I do that, any questions on what I just did so far or anything up to what I just did?
I just got one question real quick. You don't need the semicolon at the end of the parentheses for this?
I should have put a semicolon. It's a good habit to get into writing the semicolons. Now, the reason I'm so strict about it in the course is because there's very specific um, like ways. Let me see. The short answer is if you don't put semicolons, JavaScript puts the semicolons there for you before it runs it on its side. Now,
Okay.
since JavaScript is going to put those semicolons there for you, it's going to get it right like 99% of the time. But that 1% of the time where it messes it up, it can break your code. So that's why you always write semicolons. That's why you're supposed to always write it. Because the computer don't know everything. So I should have been putting those semicolons. And I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to stay conscious with putting those in there. So yeah, any other questions before I move to the tech, before I move to VS Code?
When would you not use semicolons?
You want to always use them, to be honest. The weird thing is
That's what I
that
thought.
you're gonna see some developers that don't use it at all. And like it's not good to not use it, but if you've been coding in JavaScript so long, you know when and when not to use it. Now I can't really think of a specific situation where it'll like mess up if I don't use it right now, but like there are like rare like instances where it'll it'll get messed up if you don't put the semicolons in there. But like I said, it's like literally like 1% of the time, probably less than that, to be honest. So yeah, for the most part, it's your preference, but to be safe, I would just put them there anyway.
Thanks.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna move to the text editor, right? And I, I have all the answers right here, but let me open up a blank file because I wanna show you it like real time. So what's a util? Okay, I'm gonna just delete a few things here, and I'm gonna make this bigger. I know it's just small. All right. So now that we know how to get like the hours, the minutes, and the seconds, what we want to do is we want to create functions that do that for us. We never just want to write code just like this. You see how I got like this code just sitting here like this, a variable equal to something. We never want to really do this. And to be honest, like I shouldn't have done this, and I can clean this up a different kind of way. But what you want to get into the habit of doing is putting things into functions. Actually, this is fine. I shouldn't say it. Like this is fine. Setting a variable either or something. But when you actually go to like do certain things, if you want to do a certain action, you want to put that into a function. Like that action being getting the current hours. Get hours. I'm gonna just name a function get hours. So anytime I want to get the hours, it's gonna go into this function. It's gonna give me the hours. And what we learned was we use date. And then we use the new keyword, capital D for date. And now we have access to the current date. Every time we call this function, we have access to the current date because this variable is going to be created every single time we call this function. So what we want to return, actually, before I do that, what we want to get is the hour, right? And to get the hour, remember we use date dot get hour, get hours. And then we'll return the hour. Any questions on this function? Anything looks a little odd or off? Okay, so this is getting the hours, right? I'm literally just gonna copy this down and do the same thing for the minutes and the seconds. I'm just gonna save me some time. I'm gonna say get minutes. We have the date object here. Instead of doing get hours, we have to do get minutes. And we'll name this min, and we'll return min for minutes. And get seconds, do the same thing. We got the date object here. Instead of doing get hours, we want to get seconds. We want to call it, this is the seconds, and we'll return the seconds.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Can I put in the chat what I pulled up from just the code, just so you can look at it and just tell me obviously what's wrong?
Yeah. All right, so you have, okay. Yeah, that's the same. Yep. What you just put. Let me put that here also. And I'll put it right next to it. So we copied this. I copied it wrong. Okay. Yeah, this is the same thing. We have D, I have date here. We have new date. So this line is literally the exact same thing as this line here. And
Okay.
you have D dot get hours, the same thing. I just do date dot get hours. So
Oh, okay.
just the variable that we're referencing. Yeah. So that's good. Also, one thing to note though is you use let here. What I will always use first, the default is always const. Like always start off with const every single time, unless you know that you're going to change the value of the variable, always put const.
Now that leads to my question.
Yeah.
If I wanted to have a updating clock like you have in your whatchamacallit in a assignment,
Right.
then it will be cost can't be changed. So how would the time update? or is that just some special function? You know,
Yeah.
without giving away the answer, you know, is there some special way that the function acts that's
Mhm.
gonna update that's gonna update automatically, even though it's constant?
Yeah, that's a good question too. And that goes into how like how JavaScript runs like under the hood, like underneath. So every time we call a function, right, that function creates two new variables. If I call this seconds, right, it's going to create a new variable called seconds. It's going to be a const. It's going to create another variable. I mean, it's going to create a variable called date, and it's going to create a variable called seconds, right? But these only exist between these two curly brackets. So when I call this function again, we're not calling the function that we're not calling the same instance of a function that we called in the beginning. We're calling this function again a different, like a different instance of this function, you can say. Let me try to think of a better way to say this. Every time, let me write something really quick. I'm gonna say
I think
second.
I understand it. So
Yeah,
it's basically like
so
the
fresh
parameter is
copy.
constant.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Is that what you're gonna?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the parameter is constant.
Mhm.
But you can refresh, basically you can refresh that and it will create a new constant.
Right, exactly. It's a fresh one every time. Every time we run through this function and we're done with the function, everything in here is going to get destroyed. Everything's gone. Like it's completely gone. So after we run this, after it gets through, it's going to be gone. Then we're going to call it we're going to call it again. We're going to run through it again, and then all these variables going to be destroyed again. And we're going to call it again, and all those variables going to be destroyed again. So it's something that you can just keep reusing over and over. So yeah, I'm trying to think, was there anything else in the questions?
I'm sorry, but going back to this problem, after it's destroyed, how does it iterate?
Yeah, so the iteration part, like if you was to call it over and over again, that's another, it's it's a different thing I have to teach you about. And I'll but let me just make sure I answered all of it, but that's a good question. We're gonna get to that.
No, okay. I just was trying to make sure
Yeah.
that I didn't miss the answer to this question. So basically, the answer to the question in terms of the iteration is that you haven't taught us that yet, right?
Yeah, you're ahead.
No, I'm not ahead. I'm behind, but I wanted to make sure I didn't miss the what the brother was trying to
Mhm.
ask. Appreciate that.
So yeah, let me make sure I got all these questions. So we learned about hour, minute, second. We created these functions here. Oh, the last thing was to make sure we get double digits. And before I told y'all use the two fixed method on that, but it's actually not the two fixed method. It's something a little bit different. I'm just thinking about it. But let me show you what I mean by this really quick. So I'm going to what time is it right now? It is okay, 11:55. I'm gonna go back to here because I wanna show you something. I'm gonna just do let me refresh this. I'm gonna refresh it to get rid of all of those variables because this was a const. So now I should have a new instance of this. All right, so right now we at let me refresh again. Right now we have 58 seconds. Let me just refresh and then do that again. Okay, so date 2. Okay, perfect. All right, so right now we're at 9 seconds, right? The number 9 is less than the number 10. So if we was to do date2.get seconds, it's going to give us back a 1-digit number. Like it doesn't give us back 0.09. So this one was saying to always give us back a 2-digit number. Now, the way we do this is whenever we get this value, we check to see like how many digits are here. And if there's only one digit, we add a 0 there. And if there's 2 digits, we just leave it the same. So just by me saying that, we know that we have to use if else statements. And to be honest, that's probably going to take too long to explain. So we just not going to get to that part. But just know that you have to use if else statements for that. Since it's time, right? I'll take any questions, and then we'll pick up on this on Tuesday, because this is the next project that we're doing. And I'll post these 3 functions and put them in the drive, just so you can play around with them. But yeah, I'll take any questions from now. If you don't have any questions, I'll see you on Tuesday.
So I actually wanted to show you what I had, and I wanted to know if, so basically I'm just adding a 0 as a string. I mean, I
Right.
can explain it. It's pretty simple, but yeah, okay. I guess I'll
Thanks.
screen share. Hold on.
You can screen. Yeah,
let me
that's
figure.
the answer. Did you already like how'd you come up with that solution? Like, what's your thought process behind it? Have you seen it before, or like something you kind of like thought
Oh,
about?
no. So we were talking about it. If I can get the bottom of my screen to move.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, there we go. I'm gonna share my screen with you, and then we can do all that.
Okay.
We'll do that. Share the desktop, and then I scoot it over.
Yeah, that's right. That's perfect, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, boy, you spazzing now. Ooh, wait, what is going on here?
Wait,
Okay,
who wrote all of this? Did you write this? Like, did y'all do this together? Like, how was it? Like, the reason I'm asking
so
is it's like really well written the way
He
y'all.
did that.
Okay.
yeah, well, okay.
I got that
Hold on.
from him.
Let me slow down now. Okay, the get random function between me and the max. This right here, this ain't me. I can't take credit for that. But this right here, this all me.
Okay, you found the other one online then.
Yeah, I found the math, but I know exactly what it does though. So in programming language, I already know that you have to multiply a certain number by your random number in order to get it to go from the min and max that you want, between these 2 values that you want. I understand the function you plugging in the min and max in order to run, you know what I'm saying? So I understand the whole function, but I literally just copied and paste this mug. This a copy paste right here, right there. That does a copy paste. This
Yeah.
right here is me. But I wanted to know if there was a way to return a value, because this becomes a string. So I wanted to be fancy schmancy and try to return a number instead of a string, because I know there's some
Yeah,
functions
there's no
that
way to do it. That's the short answer. Like, yeah, it has to be a string.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay, all right, cool. That's all right. So it has to be a string.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, unless obviously if it's bigger than 10, or if it's 10 or above, it's going to be
Oh,
enough.
exactly. Yeah. So then I would if I guess I would have to make another check. If I was to run another function that would kind of use this, I would have to run another check to turn it back to a value, just to make sure that everything
Right. So
functioned correctly.
what you want to do, obviously that math, so there's a few things, right? First, the indentation, some of it is off. Now that's not me. I'm just like being constructive criticism. On the indentation,
Please.
that's one thing. The second thing, now you kind of went above what I was expecting when you put this math random in there. What I was really expecting for you to put in there is just the time, like the num. Num will be the parameter. You know how we do when we do the get hour, get minute, get second. That would be the that you put into this function to turn it into a 2-digit number. So you can probably just delete that whole math random and only accept num as a parameter. But yeah, it's good that it's good that you mess around with this stuff. And honestly, like even when I'm on the job, even if I don't like create it myself, I will go online and see somebody else. I would like reference somebody else's code before I do it myself if I don't know how to do it. Because there's edge cases that you don't really think about that somebody else really sat and thought about whenever they created their solution. So it's good that you're using things that you found online, as long as you understood it, like you were saying, you understood what you were putting there.
Uh,
So
Yeah, I fully understand. So I would pass number in here
no,
and then,
no.
oh,
So you see where you have min and max, you want to delete those as a parameters. You want to put num instead of min and max. But num,
mm,
yeah, delete line 11. You don't even need that at all. Line 11
oh,
is,
let's go bye-bye.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
so the only thing you pass into here is the hour, minute, per
Oh.
second. Yeah. Then it'll give you back a 2-digit number. So
Oh, and then you said I could pass hour, minute, a second up in here.
right. Yeah. So you would have to go through and do the whole variable, and like you could probably paste those functions that I have whenever you have access to it, and then just and put those values directly into this function.
In here.
Yeah.
So basically what you were trying to do was trim the time and basically get it to 2-digit numbers, like everything to 2 digits.
Right.
So it's for the clock. Okay.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Just so
Let
it
me see something right
displays
quick.
correctly. Yeah.
I kind of want to check something right quick just
Yeah.
for F. Okay. 19. 19. Random number between.
Yeah. So if you,
Oh,
yeah,
duh, because I'm
put
doing
like
it
a
outside the
9 or
brackets. I'm
put
tripping.
like a single digit or whatever into there. Put like 8 or 7 or whatever, and then you should see
8.
a console log of 0, 8 whenever you refresh it. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I tried to use HMS because it's already an array that's going to pull the instant time date or whatever the
Oh,
case is.
I didn't even see
But
that. I was wondering why you wrote that. Okay, I see.
yeah, but
There,
this is already defined within this div or within this little division, this little section here. So I know anything outside this section ain't gonna be defined anyway. So that's why I can't call it. So yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
perfect.
tried it and failed, but it just proves the point.
Yeah,
All
I mean,
right, cool.
you understand this stuff on a good level too, so that's good.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm finna get really freaky with it. Hold on. Hold on. Now, shit ain't, you know what I'm saying? Boy, look at me. Look at me go. Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
Okay, that's it. Yeah. I just wanted to test that just to make sure. No, we just proving points at this point. Okay, I'm done. Excuse me, everyone. I'm sorry for taking up your time with the nonsense.
Anybody else have any questions?
Oh yeah, Isaiah, I just wanted to know what the return tag do again. I just want to know what that tag do again.
Yeah. So do somebody else want to answer that question for just so we can get in the habit of like teaching each other? What does return do?
The return, what? It's almost like a console.log and a escape. So it basically gives you whatever value you put at the end of return. So on this side of return, am I sharing my screen still? No? Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
I am sharing my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah, cool. So yeah, it's gonna give you whatever value you place here or whatever string or whatever, let's just say value or string that you place here. And then it's gonna cut the function off. It's gonna literally escape the rest of the function.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna do. So
All right.
log whatever value and then escape the function. So it's like a console.log and escape.
Oh, all right, I got you. All right.
Well, yeah. Essentially, the only correction I would say for that, and maybe it's just like the wording. You said it's a console log and escape. What I would say it is when it gives you, it replaces, so on line 19, that whole thing where it says get random number between, like that, everything that's in between the console log, that's in between the parentheses of the console log, is replaced with whatever is returned from the function. So that whole value literally becomes 0, 9, 0, 8, 2, 3, whatever value, exactly, whatever value the function gives you back. So you can think of return as like somebody giving you something, like the function gives you this, like kind of, this is yours. I'm giving this to you. So it gives us back something. Right, exactly. What he just wrote. Well, I know it just, yeah, that. So Did I answer your question, Sharif?
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
All right, cool. Any other questions?
So our like homework is kind of just like still studying and familiarizing ourselves with you know, the material.
Yeah. So what I would do is go through to, well, I'm glad it's recording now. What I would do is I would go through, keep going through and then complete the project number 1 in the course. So that should be like section 6 or something like that. Whatever the first project is. This is the first project. You're gonna see me do it. You pretty much already gonna have the answer on Tuesday if you go through it, but it's good if you just watch it and then we can probably even do it a different way, see it done a little different than whatever I put on the video. But yeah, if you can get to that, that would be perfect. Thanks, Nair. I see your message. Any other questions?
So just to confirm, you just want us to start on, continue to review, but start on part 6?
Right, yeah. If we can get through part 6, that would be perfect. If not, it's fine. If not, at minimum, I will get through 1 through 4. Make sure 1 through 4 is done.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 1 through 4. You mean assignment?
The sections in a Udemy. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So past the on to JavaScript. Oh, it's past. So JavaScript tools have that whole thing complete. I think JavaScript tools is section 4, and then section 5 is like some CSS, I believe. If you can get through the CSS, that's fine. Also, because that will give you a deeper understanding of the CSS. So that part is CSS, and then section 5 should be like the first project or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, section 6.
Section 5, the CSS. The section 6 is the first project.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just do the first 4 portions of part 6?
So the first 4 sections of the course at minimum. So the first 4 sections will be the intro, the HTML.
No. I meant for section 6, do you want us to do the first?
Oh, you can do the whole thing actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do the whole thing. It teaches you, let me go to it. Where is that? Yeah, you can do the whole thing. So it gives you some I'm sorry, project 2 is the one we're on. I'm sorry. But yeah, you can go through section 1 also. The first project also. The first project we kind of sort of did, but not, we did some of it, but not all of it. But I will go through, yeah, you can go through project 1 and you can go through project 2 as well. Or you can just skip project 1. It's really up to you. We're on project 2. I got that mixed up. And I'm gonna write it in the, I'm gonna write what I just said in an Instagram chat too, so that there's no confusion.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm. Okay. All right, if there's no other questions, I'll see everyone on Tuesday.
Oh, hold on. One more question before we leave. With the projects, are we turning them in, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, so you can turn them in. If you have it done, you can turn it in to on a drive. Let me
The
see.
homework folder, I think it is.
Right, and it should be under your name. And then you can create another folder inside of there for like project 1 and just put everything in there. And I can take a look and just let you know my thoughts on it. So, but it may take some time for me to get all of the feedback through because I'll have to go through all of it. But yeah, but if you do have
Yeah,
specific
no worries.
on what you wrote, then I can always go through it in class. So yeah.
Okay. So we already did project 1. We start project 2.
Yeah, we somewhat did project 1. There's a part of it that we didn't actually do yet. but I'm gonna have to hurry up and do that one too. I kind of overshot part one, but project one is not, it's not something that's not out of your reach, basically. It's not something that necessarily have to teach, but I'm gonna teach it anyway after we get done this one.
Perfect, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you, man.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Isaiah.
All right, see you. See you, buddy.
I do have a question, and I'm always getting my files confused, like all the time. So like when we did this assignment, I had started a new VS Code, not VS Code, hold on.
Like a new folder.
Yeah, I started a new VS Code and I created a new file, but like I just know like this is not the setup. Let me just share it. This is just not it. All right. Like it'd be this simple step that take me like this long. So see how I got.
Okay, so okay, there's a few things. So you have your HTML mixed up with your JavaScript. You want that to be in two different files.
Here, let me go to the files.
So for that, yeah, just create a whole, just like an index.html and then like app.js or whatever you want to call it.
So this is my project that we have right here, and you want me to put this in this one?
Yeah, you can put it in there, the JavaScript stuff. But it's important to know how to set this up too, though. Wait, oh, you create another. Oh, okay, I see what you did. I see what you did. You can press cancel. You created another folder for this project inside of this folder here. Okay. What I would do is like is not put the folder in here. Or so you basically trying to keep everything together, basically, right? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just have it be more organized, like so.
what I would do here is create a new folder in here and just name it I don't know, just name it like 1 or 2 or whatever. I don't know. You can name it whatever. Yeah, class 1. There you go. You can put the index file in there, put your JS file, and put your, the index file, the JS folder, and your asset folder in there. Oh, it's because you got to highlight it. That's why. Yeah, you got to. Yeah.
Oh wait, now I'm putting this one in here.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, I keep going now. Okay. All of them, right?
The asset folder. You can keep that class project 2 there.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. All right, cool. So now it's organized. So now we have class 1 there. Then we got class project 2. So you can go back to your VS Code really quick. Yeah, in your VS Code, it should have all that stuff. Okay. Did not update. You may have to close it and open it back up in VS Code. Everything should be in a JavaScript folder, right? I think. Yeah. Okay. So you Yep. Okay, perfect. All right, so
Okay.
the class project is inside of that. So open up the class project too. So we're done with class one, right? We're just
Yeah.
gonna work with class project two. So inside of there, you want to put another index.html file. I'm gonna put that inside of class two. So you want to click on first you want to click on actually hover over class project two. I want to see what nothing on the hover. So click on it really quick. All right, and now press that new file button. That's Yep. Okay, so you can do index.html in there.
Wait, you see? Yeah.
So so you have it open right there. So first you're gonna do the boilerplate. So you can do the exclamation point, and then add, yeah. And now you gotta link your JavaScript file. Your JavaScript file. We're gonna you didn't already create that, did you? What's inside of add.js? Is there something in there?
I don't think so. I think it's hours, which was actually
It's supposed to be that one there.
what we did on class today, I believe.
So you can,
Yeah.
you can rename where it says hours. You can rename that. Here, I'll right click that and just put rename, and just put .js after it. Like you can do hours.js or whatever, whatever you want to name it. Okay, so that's gonna be a JavaScript file. Now in there, I want you to delete all that HTML. You can get rid of all of it. Let's see. Wait, I'm not sure how much JavaScript you deleted, but this is going to be your JavaScript here, and now you want to link this JavaScript file to your HTML file. So open up index.html.
Does she want to control Z before she do that to get back what she just erased from the hours.js?
Yeah. Did you want to keep that stuff for
No, it was wrong anyway. It's okay.
So I'm gonna actually give you what to paste in there. I'm gonna just throw it in the chat if you want to put this inside of hours.js.
Where you at? There you go.
I just dropped it in the chat. You just paste all that stuff in here. You want to put that in the JavaScript file. You don't want to mix up the
Oh, that
HTML.
was under. Oh yeah. I mean, let's go back and delete this.
Do Control Z. It'll just get rid of it.
Control Z. Sorry, Control Z. Oh, there we go. Save that.
All right. You remember how to link your JavaScript file to your? I mean, you remember how to link the JavaScript file inside of the HTML? Which tag you got to use?
JavaScript file inside the HTML. Could I just drop it in there like this?
No. You want to you remember the script tag? The script.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember everything now.
Yeah. So you want to write. So on line 10, you want to write script. It should autocomplete for you too. Okay, there we go. You can just write. So you want to give it an attribute. You want to give it a source attribute. So src. You want to put that inside of the opening script tag, like right after the T. So you can delete src. Yeah. So the opening script tag, the first one there.
The first one?
Yeah, that T right
Oh,
there.
right.
Right, exactly. Now you can start writing the name of your JavaScript file. So it's hours.js. Great. Cool. So now your HTML knows about your JavaScript file. So every time you set it up, you want to set it up like this. And I will go back through also, and you remember how to link your CSS file? If you have a CSS file?
I know I do. Let me see. Go back real quick.
I would definitely like
Okay.
that as saved and like go over that also, because you're gonna need to know how to like link all those together.
Yeah, just like my stuff is everywhere. Can never find it. Even now, CSS. Yeah, it can't be on here. Dashboard. Oh no, it's the same one. I don't know what that is.
It's fine. We can just go through it really quick in VS Code.
Okay.
Yeah. So your CSS file, it can be named whatever you want, but I normally name mine's main.css. So you can create a file in here called main.css. You want to class project 2, that folder on the left hand side, right? And then click that new file button. Yep. Just do main.css. Right. Okay. So the way you link your CSS to your HTML is you go inside your HTML file. Yep. So in the head tag, right underneath the title tag, so right, or really anywhere in the head tag, really. So put your cursor at the end of line 7, yeah, and just press, yeah, click in there and press return or enter or whatever you have on your keyboard, right? Now write link, L-I-N-K, and press tab. Okay, so inside of the href, you want to put the name of your CSS file. So just write main.css. Yeah, there, go right there. So now your HTML knows about your CSS and it knows about your JavaScript. A very, very common mistake when you first start off is people forget to link the CSS and the JavaScript. So what you did is not like, it's not like not common. So just remember you always got to link those together. Yeah.
Okay. So, and every time we do a new assignment in class, I would just have to repeat these same 13 steps, pretty much.
Right.
Right.
What I would do though is I would just have this set up somewhere, and whenever you got to do it, just copy and paste the folder, like, so you got it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So you can
Yeah,
avoid extra. I mean, it's good practice to do it until you know how to do it, and then just do the copy and paste. So however you want to do it. So, but just make sure you know how to link them together. So.
Perfect. All right, I'll practice that because that was the only thing. Like, especially she helped me set it up before it too, and I'm like, I don't know why every time I just this part alone like take me like 5-10 minutes, like, and that's way too long. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna just copy and paste this somewhere so I can always use it as a template. Yeah, but thank you so much. I needed it. Like that. All right, guys. Y'all enjoy your Sunday. I mean, unless anybody got any other good questions, because I'll stay here to the very end. Like,
yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Oh, you can stop sharing also. I'm done. Any other questions before I end it?
Which method do you prefer when we get into time? Do you prefer just create an array like I did, or which, once again, I took this from somewhere, but do you prefer an array, or do you prefer the each variable, and then we can put each variable into an array, so we can put it, that way it displays kind of like you had it in the on your what display panel or something.
The array, it won't make it display any kind of way on any like different way on the HTML. To be honest, if you was to actually, yeah, if you was to put an array, like the contents of an array on your HTML, you're gonna see everything separated with commas. So that's actually not what you want. But to answer your question with arrays, like if you want to use them, if you feel like that's the best way to keep you organized in your code, or you like can justify it, you say, okay, I want an array because of this reason, then use an array. But yeah, either way, whether you use them or not, we're able to get the content on the screen. Just gonna be in two different ways. So
Mhm. Okay, so basically it's more just as long as it outputs correctly and functionally
right,
or efficiently for the most part, then the methodology is kind of secondary,
yeah,
as long as it's functional and
just
proper, correct.
yeah, everything's functional. Yeah, minus the efficient part. It doesn't have to be efficient. Not right now, anyway.
Mm,
I would first worry about it working. If it works, then you go back and you clean it up. And you want to make it efficient only if it makes sense to make it efficient. The thing you always want to think about is that somebody else is going to read your code. So you don't want it to be too efficient.
okay,
Making it too
yeah.
efficient, not readable. So it's a trade-off.
All right, teach.
Yeah.
Go on, teach me something then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool, so I can keep my ugly code in there.
Yeah.
Right on, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Any other questions from anybody? Okay. All right, I'll end it and I'll see everyone on Tuesday. Thanks for coming up.
Catch you later.
Yeah.
Alrighty, see ya.